Well, well, well. PSA, leave now, because you're not going to like this.
You have been given time, but the point of the matter is you've been unable to answer specific questions. Sir, you are the wrong person for this job. And you had in this hearing today the unmitigated gall to say at the beginning of your testimony that China is ahead of the United States in healthcare because China does not have DEI.
I didn't say that.
We can roll back the tape. You absolutely
And
did
you
say
will
that.
find I didn't say that.
That is absolutely what you said.
I was talking about science. I didn't say they're ahead of us. They're ahead of us in some forms of science, certainly not in healthcare.
Well, we can roll back the tape, but nonetheless, let me go on with my questions and ask you this. You just heard about the Safe to Sleep campaign, and you have made cuts. You made it very clear here today. You have no knowledge whatsoever of the absolutely amazing scientists and researchers who you have callously fired. You know nothing about the cuts.
You can fire any working scientist, Senator.
That, sir, is not true either. But nonetheless,
It's true.
it is not true. Let me ask you
It is
another
true.
specific question. The Safe to Sleep campaign. Well, then can you name, sir, which office the Safe to Sleep campaign operates out of?
The witch campaign.
Well, that's the one that the senator just asked you about 2 minutes ago that prevents babies from dying in their sleep. A 30-year program inside your agency. You would agree that it's
I
important.
think it's part of HRSA. Or ACF is ACF.
No, actually, it's in Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
And I think, and again,
No, they're all within Health and Human Services, but the subdivision is ACF.
no, actually, the name of the
Nutrition of
office is
Children and Families.
No, let me tell you what it is. The National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. This is actually the one that your aunt, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, is the person who it's named after. And you noted just a moment ago, the senator reminded you that although this is a very important agency, prevents babies from dying, this is the same one you fired every single person in this office as of April the 1st. It is also,
As I said, there were no working scientists fired during the RIF.
we can bring you that information later, but because what you just said is not true. Well, then the question also is, in addition to firing the individuals who make sure babies don't die in their sleep, why did you cut funding and staff from the CDC's National Center on Birth Defects and Developmental Disabilities, which supports the Special Olympics? Was that a mistake? I've heard you say you've made some mistakes today. Was that also a mistake?
We switched those programs to the Administration for Healthy America. They have not been cut.
Well, the funding has been cut, and this is one that oversaw the Special Olympics. Are you aware of that?
We have not cut the Special Olympics.
He
Cut
just
the funding,
lies
and you also dismantled the Division of Reproductive Health and Women's Health and Fertility. You're aware of that, right?
Right now, we have 42 divisions that do maternal health, and we're consolidating them. And the mainstream media has portrayed those as cuts, but they're not cuts, they're consolidations. It's ridiculous to have
If you're getting rid of
42
people, it's called
divisions
cuts.
that are all supposed to be doing the same thing with
Well,
their
let me
own
ask you-
administrators.
Well, let me ask you a question. So it doesn't exist right now. It's been dismantled. That is a fact. That particular division, what you plan to do in the
But there's
the fact
42
of the matter
divisions
is
on
that it's-
maternal health we consolidated.
Sir, let me finish what I'm saying here. The fact of the matter is you have dismantled it as we speak. And are you aware, what does the assisted reproductive technology mean to you? Are you familiar with that?
Are you talking about IVF?
I don't know. Am I?
Well, it's assisted reproductive technology. It's a division. Do you know what it does?
Is it part of NIH?
Is it?
He knows nothing
No, it's
about
actually
his
part of your agency.
fucking job.
NIH is part of my agency, Senator. You should know that.
I do know that, but it's actually a part of, it's the CDC is where it is.
Okay, then it's CDC.
Right, okay.
She's asking
Let
you
me
because
just
you
ask
don't know.
Yeah, and
I can't listen. Okay, so before y'all come over here, well, the government's too big. Okay, we already know that. Okay, it's not about the what, it's the how. Because I know people in the Social Security Administration, Veterans Administration, Department of Homeland Security, the IRS, And all of them have told me, because I have friends and family working these agencies, have told me how everybody's coming back to work because everybody got to come back to work, right? But you ain't got nowhere to sit. You ain't got nowhere to park. Okay? Some people have got to go to offices that over an hour away from their homes because, again, it was not planned and executed effectively. Okay? And again, like the lady said, if you're cutting positions, you're cutting programs, you're cutting services. And I've spoken to several people that I know in these agencies, and they all talked about how so many people have either been fired, rifted, or they took the buyout. But guess what? The work is still there. So the question becomes, who's going to do all that work? Because in a person that I know, their HR is cut in half. But the work is still there. Who's going to do it? That means longer wait times. And then Mr. Kennedy says, I paid very close attention to words. No working scientists were fired. So are you trying to say to us with a straight face that those people who were fired weren't doing any jobs at all? They was coming to work doing nothing and getting paid? See, I know for a fact it don't work like that. You don't get to show up and do nothing and get paid. I know they would like you all to think that because, like I said to you before, none of you all had a problem with federal civil servants because it's always been considered an honorable profession until President Trump and Elon Musk and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all the other sycophants told you to. Then all of a sudden, we were all worthless. You know, using up taxpayer dollars, never consider the fact we're taxpayers too. Okay? So, and then he wants to throw in DEI, but he don't even know what his programs are. Listen, and again, before y'all come and say, you know, President Obama did RIFs and all that, Clinton did RIFs, like I said, it's not the what, it's the how. You got to find out what people do first. You have to do an assessment first. Find out what the critical missions are first. We ain't even 6 months in. And what is happening is a goat screw. And not to mention all the money that they're going to have to use to buy new office spaces because a lot of it was, you know, sold off or rented off during COVID. Buy new equipment. But we're talking about efficiencies. More rent space. Yeah. So this, you know, hearing with Mr. Kennedy, that's just an example of the ineptitude that's at work. And again, I don't have a problem. I didn't see no issue with cutting. Cut where it needs to be cut. But there's a process. Because he don't even know what his people do. Hell, he didn't even know one of the agencies under his charge was named after his own aunt. Where'd they do that at? Again, it's all fun and dandy until it starts affecting you. It's coming. It's coming. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.